Basketball fans, what's up? It's your boys, Rick Kamla, Hall of Famer Steve Alexander, a.k.a. Dr. A, here breaking down a big old slate of games on Wednesday in the NBA. Let's shout out our sponsor before we dive in, Bet Online. We love Bet Online. They're the world's most trusted betting platform. Bet Online is your number one source for online betting in 2025. Now you know, whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, Bet Online is your ultimate game day companion. Largest selection of odds and everything from the NBA and college basketball, the NHL and UFC. Hit them with the top shelfer, right? In the NHL, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. So look them up. From every three-pointer to every hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. Doc, we start our preview of Wednesday night's slate with we got 9 games coming up in the association. By the way, I like how the NBA is staggered this week. We've got like 7, 8, 9 games on a lot of these weeks, right? Not like a 2-game night or whatever. I haven't looked at Thursday's slate, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I like how the NBA stacked all this. But Doc, get us into your 5 streaming options for Wednesday night's action, and let's go.
I have like 100 written down, but some of the ones that I like, Amir Coffey and Derek Jones Jr. for the Clippers without my boy Norman Powell. Coffey and DJJ are going to do stuff. So I kind of like them. Yabusele is out. Joel Embiid is out for Philly. I've got Andre Drummond in my starting lineup for 30 deep. So hopefully we get an Andre Drummond double-double on Wednesday night. Maybe not double-double, but I could see 8, 10, 2 steals and a block. So I'm kind of feeling Drummond. You know, a guy that we have not talked about really at all is Trendon Watford of the Brooklyn Nets. He's scored in double figures in 6 straight games. The rebounds are okay. He is getting some assists. He's not a big steals and blocks guy. But if you're looking for a warm body, Trendon Watford, I think, makes sense right now. He's playing well. I think he's averaging 12, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal in February. And then your guy, Walker Kessler, not playing again for the Jazz. Lauri Markkanen not playing for the Jazz. You can basically pick a Jazz, any Jazz, and be okay. There's Collier, there's Keontae, there's Clarkson. There's Filipowski, who I really like. If Walker Kessler's not playing, I think he could double-double. And Bryce Sensabaugh with no Markkanen probably will do some stuff. And then sneaky Bismack Biyombo in San Antonio. Charles Bassey is a mess. He's hurt. Victor Wembanyama's gone. Biyombo had 10 points, 10 boards, 4 blocks in his last game. Those are some of my streamers for Wednesday.
Those are some of your streamers. All right, maybe kick some of those guys to another segment that you didn't bring up here. All right, my 5 streaming options for Wednesday night. I love Kyle Filipowski. That's why I'm leading with him. I love Kyle Filipowski on Wednesday night. Utah's entire front court is out, all right, plus Colin Sexton. And, Doc, Filipowski in the last game went 20, 11, and 5, 1 block, 2 steals, 4 threes. I don't know. That's like a first or second round stat line. It's 1 game, but that's a phenomenal game, okay? I also like Kevin Huerter. Starting now for Chicago. Iowa's questionable. Lonzo Ball's off the injury report, so he will come back. But Kevin Huerter is going to get 14 or 15 shots, score, 17 points, 3 or 4 threes. Few assists, couple, 1 or 2 steals, right? I like Kevin Huerter a lot, streaming on Wednesday night. Doc, we continue to bring these guys up, but it's because they're good pickups, streamers, like we're talking about right now for the Atlanta Hawks. Pardon me 1 second. Doc, give me 1 second. Look, we're a little bit ahead of you guys up north with the allergies down here in Florida. My bad. But Doc, the 3 guys for Atlanta, okay, Karis LeVert, Zach Risachet and George Niang. Have you picked them up yet, people, audience watching our show? They should at least be on your streaming radar every single game. And I like Risachet in this one because he's coming off of a dreadful game. And he was playing really, really well. So I think he's going to get back up on top of the horse here. Niang is coming off of a okay game, and he's been kind of in an every other game like spike mode. So I'm kind of feeling Niang. And then obviously Karis LeVert is just a meat and potatoes guy with a lot of good stats for you. Here, I'm going to go deep with a couple of Brooklyn Nets here. You hit a stock with a Brooklyn net. I'm going to hit you guys with Killian Hayes. D'Angelo Russell is out again. I know, shocking, right? One of the softest players in sports history. It's unreal how soft he is. I should put out a Twitter poll at Rick Kamla Sports. Who is softer, Brandon Ingram or D'Angelo Russell? That'd be a hell of a poll. But Killian Hayes, Doc, if you need assists and you need steals, the shooting's not going to be great. Might hit 1-3. Might get to 10 points. Okay, scoring's not really his bag, but assists and steals are. And he's getting 25, 26 minutes, and the stats are okay in the assists and the steals. Again, it's a streamer. And then I want to hit you, Doc, with Andre Lemouche's guy and Aaron Brewski's guy and possibly your guy. But up till now, not my guy, because I've been Rip Van Winkle on a man named Day'Ron Sharpe, Doc. And on Monday, I worked with Brew, okay? And with Andre, we had a conversation about Day'Ron. He's been hovering around a double-double for, I don't know, about a month now, maybe only 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. Decent defensive goodies. But, Doc, Nick Claxton's not going to play on Wednesday because he's at his flagrant foul or technical foul threshold. I can't remember, but he's got that one-game suspension by the NBA. Day'Ron Sharpe's probably going to get a spot start here, and he's probably going to have a really good stat line. So I give a shout out to Brew and Andre because I've been like, dude, I've been night. Day'Ron Sharpe this year, dude. I've been Steph hitting the golden dagger against France on Day'Ron Sharpe. But I'm awake now, okay? And I like him as a streamer on Wednesday night.
Well, I think you and I look at the Brooklyn box scores, and we were just like, oh, I can't even wrap my head around it. And we just like shut it and move on to the next game. Like, I don't even want to look at it. And I think that's why we've missed Trendon Watford going 6 straight double-figure games. Day'Ron Sharpe is playing well. Zaire Williams, a very good streamer, I think, with those guys out. Keon Johnson, as usual, another guy. I mean, you can basically at this point pick any healthy net and any healthy.
Are they team player. Streamer? They're team streamer, aren't they?
Team stream, yeah. So there's tons of options on those teams. And then if somebody I didn't mention and you didn't mention that I think is worth mentioning is if our guy Alex Sarr is out for Washington, he's questionable. Then it's Richaun Holmes time again. So he's the guy I think you got to look at too.
It's a good call. Going up against Portland on Wednesday night. I like that addition. Doc, he's Dr. A. He's a Hall of Famer at this. I am Rick Kamla. We are Fantasy NBA today. Andre Lemouche is behind the glass doing his great work as always. Top 3 situations or players to watch. Doc, get us into this. Top 3 situations or players to watch heading into Wednesday night's action.
Well, I just mentioned it. Alex Sarr, if he's out, play Richaun Holmes. That's one thing that I want to see. I want to see if Biyombo does it again for San Antonio. With our guy Anthony Simons, with our guy Fred VanVleet out for Houston, Aaron Holiday has had a big game or two in the past. And with FVV still hurting, I think Dylan Brooks and Aaron Holiday could do something for the Rockets. And the Rockets are playing the Spurs. So I think that's this could be an Aaron Holiday mini explosion. I think he's sneaky to look at. And then my guy, Andre Drummond, can he handle 25 minutes of action with all the big men hurt in Philly. This Joel Embiid thing, absolute disaster. Yabusele's been terrible. Now he's hurt. He's not playing Wednesday. I mean, Drummond has to play and has to do something. So I guess I'm kind of looking to see what happens there. And then in New York, the whole OG Anunoby thing versus Quentin Grimes and Precious Achiuwa. Is he able to play? Is Cat healthy? Is Cat able to play? Cat got hurt the other night. Didn't look great when it happened, but I saw him walking around afterwards. I think he's going to be okay, but keep an eye on that New York lineup, because if those guys are out, Achiuwa especially, and then Grimes are going to be worth a look.
I like it, man. That is Dr. A. I'm Cam, and 3 situations or players to watch. I'll pick up here with the New York Knicks. Karl Anthony Towns, Doc, and Josh Hart were both able to practice on Tuesday, and so that's huge. If we found out that Cat didn't practice on Tuesday, it's the Knicks, so he still could play even though he doesn't practice. But the fact that he practiced, I believe he's going to go on Wednesday. I just think it's a good indicator here, and I believe he did return to the game after suffering that injury. So he's got a knee, he's questionable, but Cat looks like a go here. Josh Hart looks like a go here. If somehow Cat gets downgraded, which is possible, even in Tibbs culture, and is ruled out, obviously then you pivot to Precious Achiuwa, because Josh Hart's going to play. OG is back. Bridges will be in there and Brunson will be in there. So Achiuwa will join the starting lineup in there for Cat, and he'll hover around a double-double and give you a couple of goodies beyond that. All right, so that's definitely a situation to watch going into this game. I want to focus on, Doc, I absolutely love on Wednesday night the Boston at Detroit game. I love this game. It's the second of a back-to-back for the Beantown boys. But what this is, Doc, Detroit has won 7 games in a row. I was listening to the broadcast the other night. It's George Blaha, it's Greg Kelser, 2 legends. They've been calling Pistons games my whole lifetime. I mean, I don't even know how long. I mean, I don't know any broadcast crew for the Detroit Pistons other than George freaking Blaha and Greg freaking Kelser. And I say that with all love, okay? They're the homies. They're in my living room all the time. And the excitement and the vibe and the tone in there, you can tell, because I've heard Blaha and Kelser through the bad years, right? And, they're just they're doing their job and they're treating the game the way it should. I've done a lot of play-by-play, and I haven't done a team play-by-play, but I know that craft. And you've got to, for Blaha and Kelser, they have had to completely forget about the record for a lot of years and just call the game straight, okay? And forget that their team sucks and get excited about the game every night. But you can tell now that they're like, yo, we're in this thing, okay? So they won 7 games in a row. They got Boston in Detroit on Wednesday night. This is a colossal game for the Pistons. It's a litmus test. Obviously, they're trying to ascend, maybe get to number 4 and get home court in the first round. That's literally realistic for the Pistons right now. So all of that is a setup, Doc, and I'll hit you with 2 situations here. I believe Malik Beasley is the 6th man of the year. I believe he has been the best pure bench player. I believe he's been the most important bench player. Where would Detroit be without Malik Beasley? And you asked the same question. Where would Boston be without Peyton Pritchard? Boston would still be really, really freaking good without Peyton Pritchard. Detroit wouldn't even be close to where they are right now without Malik Beasley. Not even close. They'd be maybe 10 games south of where they are right now, okay? The voters tend to be less smart about, I said it. The voters tend to be more lazy about that, okay? They're not watching Malik Beasley. They're like, yo, it's Peyton Pritchard. I'll just vote for him, right? It's easy. It's Boston, which drives me crazy. This is a 6th man of the year showdown, okay? And I believe that Malik Beasley is going to show out. I think he's going to have a big old game here because he needs to do that. He needs to hit for 20. Pritchard needs to go for 8, and then that needs to become a narrative point, okay? And then, Doc, I got another thing I'm watching here is Cade Cunningham versus Boston's defense, all right? Is Cade Cunningham, who goes off every night against every team. Is he ready to do that, Doc, against the champs? And Derek White and Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday and all the dogs that they can sick on him. Because they know, Doc, think about it, man. Boston knows if we extract Cade Cunningham, we win, okay? So they're going to try to cut off the head of the snake. And I want to see, because Cade Cunningham has come up with correct answers to so many difficult questions this year, but this is Boston. This is the champs, okay? Now, Doc, in 3 games against Boston this year, Cade Cunningham has gone for 22, 8, and 11. The numbers are really, really good. And it is Boston in the second of a back-to-back. And we're going to get to the props and the ATS a little bit later. I did think about taking Detroit +4. But, Doc, I can't, man. I can't. I've got to see them beat the champs. They're still a young, ascending, not there yet team. And I need to see – that's why this game is so big for me. I want to see Detroit win this game. I want to, fully invest. I want to fully believe. But I fear that the champs are going to go in there and just have a game plan and just be the champs, and Detroit's going to lose. I just have that fear. But those are the things I'm watching for, bro.
Oh, the spread is 4.5 right now. And, I like betting on NBA teams that are getting points at home. And the Pistons, when I hear the word Pistons, I think laughing stock, not very good, maybe trying to make the play-in tournament. I don't think automatically playing for the number 4 seed in the East. That is just bizarre and crazy to me. They're 32-26. They're 15-13 at home. The problem is Boston is 24-6 on the road. So while I like Detroit getting the points at home, I think if I'm a Detroit fan, I'm probably going to put, 10 or $100 on that game and hope that Detroit comes through and gets it done for me. But I'm not as an outsider looking, I'm not oh, this is automatic. The Pistons are getting 4.5. They're going to lose. They're either going to win the game or lose by 2 or 3. I don't know that I feel that way, but anything is possible, as Kevin Garnett once said. And this is a really good game because I think there's Coach of the Year implications here. If Detroit beats Boston this late in the season, to creep even higher up in the East, that's a big deal. People are going to take notice of that. And then you're right, the Malik Beasley versus Peyton Pritchard versus DeAndre Hunter 6th Man of the Year race is heating up, and it's not over. I hope the voters are smart enough to realize what Malik Beasley has done. He's been a little hit or miss lately. He needs a big game. So I do think he's going to come out. He knows, he's looked at the odds. He knows he's fighting with Peyton Pritchard for 6th Man of the Year. So hope he takes this personally, sort of like Luka against the Mavericks on Tuesday night, and goes off.
I believe he will, Doc. I really do. He did that Sunday against Atlanta, had a big game. He's from Georgia, and he went off. So I'll get us going here in terms of some risers, Doc. Let me give you 3 risers here. And this is going into Wednesday night. It is Rick Kamla. It is Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. Fantasy NBA Today, Sports Ethos Fantasy Basketball. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us. Please retweet this. Let everybody know about it. We're trying to blow this thing up. Top 3 risers, all right? Portland plays at Washington on Wednesday. And Tumani Kamara is a riser. Once upon a time, me and Doc were very early, first, in fact, on Tumani Kamara. You didn't even know who he was. You were like, what's his name again? Kamala Harris? No, Tumani Kamara, okay? Over the last week, he is number 11. Y'all love political humor, don't you? He was, over the last week, number 11 in basketball monster value. 11, okay? His stat line, Doc, 16, 8, and 4, 1 block, 2.3 steals, 2.3 threes. Hello. Okay? Has he arrived yet? No, because he plays in Portland, and a lot of you are sleeping on him. He plays at 10 p.m. Eastern time. A lot of you Wake up, okay? We've been talking to you about Tumani Kamara all year long. Jalen Duren, Doc, center for the Detroit Pistons, got off to a slow start this year, but he is cooking now, man. Over the last 2 weeks, 22 in basketball monster value, 22 with 15, 13, and 4 PRA, 1 block, 1.3 steals. He is kicking ass and taking names every night. And when I see Jalen Duren, I'm like, oh my God, this guy should be a defensive end in the NFL in his spare time. I mean, chiseled out of granite, this guy. He is muscle on muscle on muscle. Reminds me of Ben Wallace back in the day. And then finally, Doc, for a riser here, going into Wednesday night, I got Amen Thompson of the Houston Rockets. And we've been talking about him all year, and he's been a huge buzz guy, and he's up for 3 awards. And okay, we all get all of that. Did you know that over the last week, Amen Thompson is 10th in basketball monster value? 10th, okay? 19, 9, and 4, 1.5 blocks, 1 steal, 1 3, 1 3, 1 3. That's not usual for him. 67% from the field and 83% from the line. This dude just continues to climb. And as long as Fred VanVleet continues to miss games, Amen Thompson's going to do stuff like this. So, Doc, give me 3 risers heading into Wednesday night, or, wherever you want to go with this.
Amen Thompson got ejected on Tuesday night for pulling Giannis down to the ground very hard. I have not seen the video, so I don't know if a suspension could be in play here. I just know he got thrown out for a flagrant foul against Giannis. Giannis is a big name, so it's going to have a lot of eyes on it. So hopefully Amen is not in trouble for that. Dude, I can't help but look at these rankings over the last 2 weeks and see my man, Josh Giddey, sitting at the very top of the list. Number 1 in rankings over the last 2 weeks because he's averaging tons of stuff. 10.5 boards, 6 assists, 23 points, 3 triples, 1.5 steals, 1.8 blocks, shooting it lights out from both the field and the free throw line. You can't just go pick him up. I mean, I don't know if the point of risers is to hit on guys that might be available in your league, but Josh Giddey, man, shout out to you. You're proving me right. You're balling out, and it's been a blast to watch him sort of start out slowly this year and climb the ladder and just start going off. That would be one of my guys. Chris Dunn for the Clippers. This Norman Powell thing being out and Chris Dunn starting and playing well. Chris Dunn's been like 3rd round value. So when you're looking at streaming Derek Jones Jr. and Amir Coffey, my guys, Chris Dunn also falls into that vacuum. I think he's playing well enough that he deserves to be streamed and maybe picked up everywhere based on how he's played since the All-Star break. And then where'd he go? My 3rd guy. I just had him. Where'd he go? Oh, Santi Aldama. Santi Aldama had a nice game on Tuesday. He's having nice games every night for Memphis. The numbers aren't mind-blowing. 13 points, 7 boards, 4 assists, a steal, a block, 3 threes. Those are good big man numbers. So I like Santi Aldama. He's been like top 40 over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, Santi Aldama was huge in the Memphis victory over Phoenix in overtime on Tuesday. Doc, I'm looking at, I'm looking at the Amen Thompson Giannis thing. This is a really brutal flagrant foul 2 that got Amen ejected. There's no way they can suspend him for this. There's no way. You guys, Andre, tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, Doc, tell me if I'm wrong. Like he karate chopped from behind and kind of grabbed up on the neck a little bit, but then let go and Giannis fell. Okay, this is not a suspendable thing. To me, the punishment was handed down. He got ejected, flagrant foul 2 in a big game. That's enough. I don't even believe a fine should be issued by the NBA right here. This is punishment enough. This is why they have flagrant 1, flagrant 2 in the ejection. But you never know with the league office, Doc. They continue to befuddle me a lot, but I don't think he's going to be suspended. But overall, he's a riser, right? The numbers are fantastic. Those numbers that I gave you, by the way, were going into Tuesday night's game when he did get ejected against the Bucks. Doc, get us started here with some fallers, man, heading into Wednesday night's work. You got some fallers / like maybe buy low guys you want to talk about here? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Donovan Mitchell, what is happening? I think he had 11 points on Tuesday. He's been like 11th
They
round.
won the game by 1,000 points on Tuesday.
Yeah, but he's been an 11th round guy, like top 130 for the last 2 weeks. And that's un-Donovan Mitchell-like. He's struggling a little bit. I would say that this is a buy low opportunity on your guy, Donovan Mitchell. And then I'm going to go with a couple of Orlando Magic studs, Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero. They're both sitting there as 12th round players over the last 2 weeks. 5 games. The points are fine, but Franz is hitting less than a 3-pointer per game. He's turning the ball over a lot, 2.6. That's not great. 70%, 73% from the line, which is a big reason his numbers don't look that great. Paulo is shooting 38% from the field over his last 5 games. Like, that's dreadful. 77% from the line. So 25 points and 7 boards, but the rest of his line is like 0.2 steals, 0.8 blocks. It's kind of struggling. Like, those guys are just in a struggle mode right now.
Doc, when is Jalen Suggs coming back? Remember Jalen Suggs? He's a pretty good ball player for the Orlando Magic.
When
defensive
is he
dog.
coming back?
When the F is he coming back? Suggies, come on, dude. Like, I got a Suggs jersey, bro. I rock that from time to time. And I'm like, it's tough right now. He never plays. Suggs, where are you, dude? Come on back. We like watching you play. When he comes back, everybody's going to be activated on Orlando. He's one of those guys. It's like Ja Morant on Memphis. He just infects the whole team in a good way. All right, Doc, I got some fallers for you. It is the fantasy NBA today. Rick Kamla, Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. Isaiah Hartenstein. Last 2 weeks, his basketball monster value is 140th, okay? He's gone 8 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, yuck, 1 block, 0.4 steals over 5 games. Brutal. We told you that Chet Holmgren coming back was going to sap Isaiah Hartenstein's value. We told you to sell high on him. Did you do it? Okay. Now it is what it is. It's too late. Hartenstein is just a decent big right now. Ben Mathurin. Okay. If you want to send him to waivers, as I did in a league earlier today, go ahead. Over the last 2 weeks, Ben Mathurin, who's now coming off the Indiana bench, he immediately hit a spark, and now the minutes are down because Neesmith is spiking there in Indiana. Over the last 2 weeks, Mathurin has basketball monster value of 128th, 15, 3, and 2. Not bad, but 1.3 stocks and 1.3, and the percentages are not good. So Ben Mathurin is a guy that if you want to, I'm not mad at you. And another faller here, Doc, and it's frankly one of my favorite players in the league. But we told you about this guy. When the Sacramento Kings traded for Zach LaVine, and obviously they gave up De'Aaron Fox in that deal, but bringing back a stud like Zach LaVine meant once again, Keegan Murray is going to be the 5th option. Okay. Keegan Murray on most teams would be the 3rd option. On bad teams, he'd be the 2nd or 1st option. Okay. But with Zach, he's the 5th option. Over the last 2 weeks, Doc, his basketball monster value is 101st with 10, 6, and 2, hideous, 1.5 stocks, and 2.3 threes. The fantasy gold is all right, but 10, 6, and 2 is not doing it for anybody, bro. That's beyond waiver wire. So it sucks. I would like to see Keegan Murray in some new surroundings where he's featured and gets a chance to like flap his wings a little bit, but that's not the case right now. So those are my fallers, Doc. We want you all to download the Sports Ethos app. Doc has done it. I've done it. Have you done it? Go to your favorite app store and download the Sports Ethos app. We've got player blurbs like real time, up to the minute, bam, right in your face. NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball. So we've got you, okay, with all the content that you need. You need to go nowhere else. SportsEthos.com, subscribe over there. And obviously, Sports Ethos app, download it and have fun with it like we do. Doc, are you ready to move on to the betting portion of our program here?
I am. Andre just verified what I was trying to tell you earlier. Walker Kessler has been upgraded to questionable for Wednesday. Collins, Markkanen, and Sexton all out.
Hold on a second. Kessler's been upgraded to questionable? Ruled out, then upgraded. That means he's going to play, Doc. When you're upgraded, that means you're going to play. Ooh, David Kleiss, I'm coming for your money, baby. David Kleiss leads my division. It's a 30-team league. It's 15 teams in each division. I'm number one in the power rankings, okay, in a 30-team league. Doc, tell them where me, you, and Brewski are, man. We talked about this last night. I'm first. Where are you and Brewski in the power rankings of this 30-team experts league?
Well, we're all in the same conference. So there's 15 teams in our conference. You're first. I'm sixth, and Brewski's fifth. That could change. This is the final week of our race. So the playoffs are coming up. The top 6 teams in each conference make the playoffs. So I think all 3 of us are in the playoffs. And we've all got pretty good teams when everybody's playing. I'm going to need Norm Powell to figure this knee thing out before the playoffs get here. I'm going to be in some trouble because I'll be relying on my guy, Damian Baugh. If that doesn't happen, but yeah, your team is really, really good in 30 deep.
Walker Kessler, help me win a chip, bro. Help me check this box, man. I'm looking to check boxes around here as we speak. Okay, with 1 week to go in the regular season, me, David Kleiss, and Mike Passador, our colleague here at Sports Ethos, are all basically tied for first in the power rankings, Doc. And I'm on top. And then it's Kleiss, and then it's Passador, but we're all ranked number 1. So we're basically in a 3-way tie for first place.
Where are Brew and I in the power rankings?
Brewski's in 10th place. You're in 13th place overall.
Okay.
Pretty fun.
I've had a lot of. I have not been able to play a full lineup for most of the season, so it's been Al Horford deciding to take every other game off, and Andre Drummond retiring briefly for like 2 months. Did not do my team any favors, and now Norman Powell's hurt, but we're hanging in there.
How about ATS on Wednesday night, Doc? How about against the spread? What you got?
I like the New York Knickerbockers minus 9.5 at home against the Sixers. I just think the Sixers are done, man. They're just washed. 9.5 is a lot of points, but man, good teams blow out bad teams all the time. And I expect that to happen in that game. So I like the Knicks minus 9.5. I kind of like the Blazers at home minus 5.5 against Washington, man. Washington is just, they're just trying to get to Cancun, man. Get this thing over with. Get us to the finish line. Get us out of here. So Blazers minus 5.5 at home, I like. I've been betting Oklahoma City blowouts lately, and they've been coming through in a big way because they just destroy everything in their path. So you got OKC at home against the Nets, minus 16.5. Like, we've talked about the Nets, man. It's a G League squad. They're going to be running out there against the best team in the league. So I'm good with Oklahoma City giving up those points. I also kind of like the Kings at the Jazz. The Jazz, everybody is not playing except for Walker Kessler, apparently. So I like the Kings minus 8.5. I like the Rockets at home against the Spurs Also minus 8.5 without Victor Wembanyama.
I like it, Doc. That's a lot. I'm with you on the New York-Philadelphia game. I'm also on New York minus 9.5. Philly's thrown in the towel. To piggyback on what you were saying, Doc, they are done mentally and physically. You can tell. Embiid's going to be shut down. Is not going to play again. Paul George soon will be shut down. They actually do have something to tank for. If they are in the bottom 6, they keep their first-round pick. If their first-round pick slips out to the 7 and beyond range, it goes to Oklahoma City. I know the rich get richer, but maybe not. So I think Philadelphia, a la Dallas, a couple of years ago with the Derek Lively thing, are going to get into a tank situation here, not for Cooper Flagg, but just to keep their pick and get the 4th pick, the 6th pick, or whatever. New York, Doc, is going to be super dialed in. They lost the last 2 games to Boston and Cleveland, their top 2 combatants in the Eastern Conference, by a combined 50 points, okay? They got murdered by Cleveland, and then they got beat by Boston, handily in both games. Cat is questionable, but he practiced on Tuesday. I think he's going to play. Philly obviously doesn't have Embiid. Tyrese Maxey seems like he's in a mental funk right now. It seems like he's kind of checked out a little bit. Over the last 4 games, Doc, he has gone 5, 16, 31, 13. So I don't even feel good about the Maxey point prop over with Joel Embiid out, because I did going into that 13-point game. Tyrese, I love you, bro, but I'm out. Okay, I'm not putting Ricky Prop's reputation on the line anymore. If you have checked out and powered down mentally, boom, that's what I'm getting from Tyrese Maxey right now. So I like New York. Doc, I want to hit you with the Indiana Pacers at home against the Toronto Raptors. Indiana's minus 9.5. Play it, okay? Toronto's on the second of a back-to-back. Indiana's on rest. Indiana comes off the loss to Denver. But it was in a back-to-back. I told you, I clicked on that. I said Denver, they were like minus 4.5 at Indiana on Monday night. We got that one for you. And so I think Indiana's going to bounce back in a big way here. All right. I think they're going to beat Toronto by 20 points in this game. So I'm not really worried. Well, I mean, we're always worried about the point spread, okay? But I just think this is going to be a big victory for Indiana. Here's why. Indiana is 10 deep, okay? They now have their rotation with Nesmith starting, Nebhard starting, Mathurin off the bench, and Toppin and all these other guys off the bench. They are freaking loaded, okay? They have third-string guys that can't even play that are really good. Jarris Walker, in my opinion. So when you have – that's why Cleveland cranks everybody's ass every night. That's why OKC cranks everybody's ass every night, because they go 10 deep. So even when you get beyond the SJs and the J-Dubs, Isaiah Joe's out there killing you. Cason Wallace is out there killing you. Alex Caruso's out there killing you. And Indiana is going to have all those bench guys, Ben Shepherd and all these guys out there killing you, okay? So I like Indiana minus 9.5. And also, Doc, I like Houston minus 8.5 at home against San Antonio. Both teams are in the second of a back-to-back. But Houston culture is going to prevail here. They beat Milwaukee on Tuesday. Very hard-fought game. But Ime Udoka, he doesn't play, man. There's no nights off here. There's no, oh, it's a back-to-back. I mean, he'll kick you in the ass about that. No. He's like, we are the baddest-ass team in the NBA, okay? Give me some nails. I want to eat them. I want to snack on them, okay? Freaking love Ime Udoka. So they're going to go out there with Ime culture and just be all geared up and dialed in. San Antonio, they just played at New Orleans and lost again, okay? They're sinking. And so now they're on the second of a back-to-back at Houston, who's going to be all full of piss and vinegar to beat the San Antonio Spurs. This is not going to go well for the Spurs, guys. The Spurs are 9-17. Pardon me. I got to update these stats after Tuesday's games. The Spurs are now 9-18 after the loss at New Orleans on Tuesday night on the road. 9-18, okay? Houston beat Milwaukee at home. They're now 19-9 at home. Very good at home. San Antonio is very bad on the road. They don't have Wemby, obviously. And check this out, Doc. Houston's 2-1 against San Antonio this year. Most importantly, in their last meeting in Houston on November 6th, it's a while ago, but nevertheless, Houston beat San Antonio 127-100. They spanked them by 27 points. I like Houston minus 8.5, Doc. Let's get into some props here, dude. Who you got?
First of all, Andre just posted some notes, and Nikola Vucevic is doubtful for Chicago on Wednesday night, and Jalen Smith is out for his concussion. So neither one of them are playing. Zach Collins is probable. Zach Collins is literally the only center on Chicago's roster. If you need a big man for Wednesday night, I would roll some Zach Collins out there with confidence. Ricky Props, man, what a fun nickname you have. I don't have a cool Doc Props nickname. I probably don't need one. I already have a stupid nickname, but I've got Amir Coffee. I think is under on points. It's probably going to be 9.5. I'm taking that with Norm Powell out. Andre Drummond, like I said, the only center in the house for the Sixers. I like him to double-double, even though he hasn't done much for a while. And then we got a little revenge game for Denny Avdia, who's been struggling with his shooting and his free throws lately. He's still scoring. He's still putting up decent counting stats. He's playing the Wizards. Blazers should kill them, and Denny Avdia probably wants to have a good showing against those guys. So I like Denny Avdia's point over tomorrow.
I do as well.
Tonight.
Now, Doc, because I know you love this, we're going to go third person. Ricky Props loves helping you guys win money on these stat bets, man. So, Doc, as we get into this, I'm trying to look up some of these numbers because I did some of the research earlier, and then they come out with these lines like very late, and I don't even see the Indiana lines out yet. But I like Doc Pascal Siakam here, the point prop over. Pascal Siakam's going up against his former team, the Toronto Raptors, and he's super due. Over the last 4 games, Siakam has hit for 15, 16, 12, and 19. But in 5 meetings with Toronto since being traded from Toronto to Indiana, he's averaging 21 points per game. He's averaging 20.4 on the season. And to me, 20.5, 19.5, 18.5. Play the over on all that, okay? If it's 21.5, don't play it, okay? So it's got to be conditional here. I just went to DraftKings Live as we're on the show broadcasting the preview for Wednesday night here, and there's no odds up for the Indiana and Toronto game yet. Probably because Halliburton is questionable. I think he'll play, but he might not, and that would obviously change a lot of the calculations on this game. So that's what's up. Keep your eye out for Pascal Siakam and his point prop over here. Doc, I want to go to the Philadelphia-New York game here and talk about a man named Mikal Bridges. Let me see if this prop is out. Y'all got Philly and New York up yet? Yes, they do, but they don't have a Mikal Bridges stat. You know why? Because DraftKings is shady as you know what? You know why they don't have this out? Andre, help me out. Mikal Bridges isn't questionable, right? I didn't see anything about that in my pre-show prep. Okay, what I think is DraftKings gets really shady with this stuff. The spike, they anticipate the spike games like we do. And I've noticed, Doc, over my many years of doing Ricky Props here, that they withhold these like spike situations to try to reduce the amount of time that we have to bet on these guys. Yes, it's a conspiracy theory, but I think it's true. So check this out on Mikal Bridges, Doc. Here's why I think DraftKings is dodging this point prop over at this point. Because I'm not buying it. Karl Anthony Towns practiced on Tuesday, okay? He's playing, all right? So don't hit me with, oh, well, we don't know if Cat is playing. Yeah, you do. He's playing, okay? Mikal Bridges, point prop over, all right? Let's get into this, and I'll give you a number that you can, toggle with. This is a big-time revenge game. It's not Luka at Dallas, but check this out, Doc. Philadelphia drafted Mikal Bridges on draft night, and then traded him on draft night to the Phoenix Suns. Mikal's mom worked for the Sixers at the time. They did Mikal Bridges and his family as dirty as you can do a player and his family, okay? I promise you Mikal Bridges still knows about all that. There's no doubt about it. This year against Philadelphia, he's gone 18.5 points on 50% shooting in 2 games. He is super due, okay? I love the due angle, all right? These guys don't suck. They're going to pop eventually. Bridges over the last 5 games, Doc, has gone 6, 11, 13, 14, 14. He is so due for a 20-point game. He's averaging 17.5 on the season, all right? 17.5 and over is in play. Do not go above that for 2 reasons. If it's over his scoring average, that means Vegas is building in these angles that I'm talking about, which takes the value away, okay? They have to not build in that value to the spread, and then we play it, and then we get the value, okay? And that happens a lot, but you got to find it, all right? If it's 17.5, 16.5, 15.5, play the over. If it's 18.5, just move on to another bet.
Andre is telling us that it's currently 15.5. Done.
As the kids do.
Lock it up.
They may do a little bit of this with it too. 15.5. Hello. I like that a lot. All right, Doc. I'm also on Denny Avdia. All right, the former team angle here, the point prop over. He's been hot since returning from the All-Star break. In 3 games, he's gone 28, 15, 18. He's averaging 14.8 on the season. Let me go to DraftKings and pull up Denny Avdia. What? 18.5? Murder. I ain't going over 18.5, Doc, on Denny Avdia. He averages 14.5 points, dude. I'm getting fired up over here. Maybe I need to reduce the volume a little bit. That's ridiculous, bro. You know what? I'm flipping it. I'm going under on Denny Avdia at 18.5 because that's ridiculous. It's absolutely, positively ridiculous. It really is. So I'm flipping it. How about you? Do you now want to go under on Denny Avdia at 18.5?
Nope.
Are you just a stay away now, or you still rocking with Denny at a 0 value for us bettors, 18.5 point over?
I'm going to pull up Denny's game log because I want to see what he's been doing lately. I know he's been struggling with his shot, but I feel like he's still putting up decent numbers. Here we go.
He's since the All-Star break, he's under that number in 2 out of the 3 games.
18, 15, 28, 14, 16.
18.5 is grotesque. It's the worst prop line I've seen all year. I'm telling you right now, it's the most stupid, there's no basis for it.
Where is that? You're looking at that. Why is it so high?
It's on DraftKings. Right here. Over under for points. Denny Avdia, 18.5. I'm telling you, I'm not crazy.
I'm hoping it's more like 14.5 or 15.
Bro, I'm on DraftKings tomorrow. Right now. It's 18.5.
I hear you. Maybe some other sites will use some sense, because that doesn't make a lot of sense.
That doesn't make any sense, man.
I'm out. If it's 18.5, I'm out. If it's 15.5, 14.5, I'm in.
Doc, I am so bullish on Kyle Filipowski that I want to tell people about his point prop over on Wednesday.
But your boy Walker Kessler's going to play.
Oh, good point. Good point. All right. Yeah, that was an update since we've been live here. All right, good point.
Walker Kessler might play. He might play.
He's been upgraded to questionable. I think he's going to play, and if he plays, then Filipowski's out. All right, I got one more for you, Doc, and we'll get out of here. Trae Young. Okay, the other night, I hit the point prop under on Trae Young. It was the Monday game at home against the Miami Heat. I'm going back to the well here. He had 11 points on 4 of 14 in that game. Trae Young, in 2 games against Miami this year, has 11 points per game on 26% shooting. Miami always defends point guards well. They just do. It's like an Eric Spoelstra defensive system thing. And now they have Davion Mitchell off night, and he's going to create another off night for Trae Young. So let me try to find the number here for Trae Young for the people. Let's go to Atlanta, and here it is. Trae Young is at 26.5, which is greatly reduced from the number the other night, which was like 29.5. But I'm still going under, Doc, on 26.5 for Trae Young. 18.5 for Denny Avdia. Vegas. What are we doing with that? All right, Doc, we're out of here, man. Good luck with all your bets. Good luck with all your wagers. Good luck with all your streamers. Before we get out of here, subscribe to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast, and please leave us a 5-star review. Continue to retweet our show and let everybody know about it. Subscribe to the Sports Ethos YouTube channel. Give the video a thumbs up. Also, check out sportsethos.com and subscribe. You can check out our MLB draft guide and much, much more. Your boy Cam is contributing to that. For Andre Lemush, for Steve Alexander, I am Rick Kamla. We thank you for watching. This episode has been brought to you by Bet Online. We'll see you soon, everybody.